Okay, so good morning, all of you. So today we are going to discuss the last point of the second unit, and that point is a single phase transformer. In the previous session, we discussed about the induced EMF. As we know that there are two types of induced EMF. One is a dynamically induced EMF and other is a statically induced EMF. And a generator is an example of a dynamic induced EMF. In the dynamic induced EMF, the conductor is rotating or dynamic. And in the statically induced EMF, the transformer is an example of a statically induced EMF. And in that statically induced EMF, there are two types. One is a self-induced EMF and another one is a mutual induced EMF. And now, today, we are going to discuss about the statically induced EMF and its example. It's a single phase transformer in detail. So have a look on the next slide. So in this transformer topic, we have to discuss what is the need of a transformer first, then its introduction, its definition, then basic principle, the construction and that working, and that EMF equation of a transformer. It means that the total 6 points we have to discuss under the title, the single phase transformer here. Okay. So let's we try to see that what is the need of a transformer. If you see the picture here, I have shown that picture. I think you might be observe this picture everywhere, in your village, in the town, in MSB station, everywhere you can observe this picture here, and this is nothing but a transformer. This is the basic component in that electricity transmission purpose. That component is very helpful for the transmission line is there. It means that the electricity is available for our domestic purpose from the generation station, and we know that at the generation station that electricity is at very high voltage, and for our domestic purpose it is available with the 230 volt. So how you can reduce that voltage level? With the help of transformer here. If you take that example of the welding machine, grinding machine, lathe machine, or that heavy industrial machines, where actually the voltage requirement of a voltage is more. It means that 440 volt and maybe greater than that. Then how the voltage level of the electric current or that electricity will be increases? So that is possible with the help of the transformer here. Get it my point? So this transformer is the basic component in terms of that electricity transmission. Get it my point? And now we are discussing the very basic fundamental things about the transformer here. Now you can try to read that the few needs I have just noted here. In most cases, appliances are manufactured to work under some specific voltage. Transformers are used to adjust the voltage to a proper level. The transformers are the basic components for the transmission of an electricity. The transformer is used to increase the voltage at the power generation station. We call it a step up, and used to decrease the voltage, step down for household purpose, means we say that domestic purpose. By increasing the voltages, the loss of electricity in the transmission purpose is minimized with the help of the transformer here. That's why we say that this is the need of a transformer. Okay, so I think through this picture, now you make clear about that if you observe this device everywhere, it means that it has very large use nowadays. Get it my point? That's why I say that this is the essential component here. Okay, so this is the need. Now try to read that the definition here. As I say that the transformer is an example of what? Statically induced EMF. Statically induced EMF. And statically what it represents? It represents conductor is stationary. Am I right? So the transformer is an example of a statically induced EMF. It means that in the transformer, conductor is a stationary. If the conductor is stationary, means what is the rotating or changing parameter? It's a magnetic field. Get it my point? Because these two types are based on conductor or magnetic field, which is moving. Now here I say that statically induced EMF means the conductor is stationary. That's why the definition of a transformer is a start with transformer is a static. म्हणजे ट्रान्सफॉर्मर मध्ये कोणताही पार्ट मूवेबल नाहीये, कोणताही पार्ट व्हायब्रेट मध्ये मोशन मध्ये नसतोय. The device transformer is a static device. The transformer is a static passive device. आता याला passive device का म्हणलं गेलेलं आहे? Let me explain these things. Okay, but read that the next line. The transformer is a static passive device which transfer the electrical energy from one point or one circuit to another point or another circuit without a change in its frequency. This is very, very important. End, I say that end of this definition is there. Very important. Without change in frequency. Means there is only one use of a transformer. What is that use? Just to receive the energy from one circuit and deliver the energy to that another circuit without changing its frequency. It means that based on this line, without changing in the frequency, that MCQ, it may ask like that, output frequency of a transformer is. Then what is your answer? Output frequency of a transformer is same as the input frequency, because the transformer will not change the frequency. Get it my point? This is the meaning of this definition here. And now why it is called as a passive device? Because transformer will not generate that any form of energy. It will not amplify that any signal. It just receive the energy from one point or one circuit and it will deliver the energy to the another point or another circuit. That's why it is called as a passive device. Active device means what? The devices which will amplify the signal, devices which will generate the signal, that we call it active components, active devices. But the transformer is not an active device, it is a passive device. And it is also called as a static device. Why? Because all the components of a transformer are fixed, stationary, not rotating, not vibrating. That's why the transformer is an example of a statically induced EMF. Is it that clear, the definition? Once again, try to read this definition very carefully. The transformer is a static passive device which transfers the electrical energy from one point or one circuit to another point or another circuit without change in its frequency. And now let's see that the basic construction of a transformer. So in the basic construction of a transformer, the transformer consists of three essential parts. What are these three essential parts? Number one is the core of the transformer. And this core of the transformer is made up with the silicon steel material. Why this material it's selected to prepare the core of the material? Because the transformer is an example of a magnetic circuit. This is an example of a magnetic circuit also. Though it transfers the electrical energy from one point to another point, but it works on the magnetic circuit. That's why this point it added in that unit magnetic circuit here. And we know that when I say that it is an example of a magnetic circuit, in the magnetic circuit, the movable part is a flux, and the opposition to the flux flowing through the material is nothing but the reluctance. And this silicon steel will offer the low reluctance. That's why the core of the transformer is made up with a silicon steel material. This is the first essential component of a transformer here. The second is the primary winding, and the winding, for the winding, the copper wire is used. Just like electric motors, if you observe that, the copper wires are used. And the second one is the secondary winding. Again, the copper wires are used. It means that the basic construction of a transformer, in that the two windings are there. One we call it a primary, another one is we call it a secondary, and the one component is the core of the transformer. Now, definitely the question comes in your mind, which winding we call it a primary and which winding we call it a secondary. Simple thing is that. What is the definition of a transformer? It will receive the energy from one circuit and it will deliver the energy to the another circuit. Means the winding which will receive the energy, that winding we call it a primary winding. And the winding which will deliver the energy, that winding we call it a secondary winding. Simple thing is that. Now see that the basic diagram of a transformer here. If you see that here one rectangular core, and on the two separate part of this core, the two windings are wound. So this core is made up with a silicon steel material. This is called as a core of the transformer. It offers, as this is the magnetic circuit, and the silicon steel material is used for the core of the transformer because it offers the low reluctance path. It means that the maximum flux can pass through that material is there. And this is the expected thing. This winding, we call it a primary winding. It means that this winding will receive the energy from the one circuit. And this winding, we call it a secondary winding. It means that this winding will deliver the energy to the another circuit is there. These are the three essential parts of the transformer here. Get it, my point? Now, let's see that what is the basic construction and the working principle of a transformer here. Now, if you see that in the diagram, this is called as a core of the transformer. We call it is in rectangular form. And this core of the transformer, as you know that it is made up with a silicon steel material because it offers the low reluctance path. This is the core. Now, if you see that in that electric language, if you observe that this side and this side of this core, we call it a limb, L-I-M-B, vertical limb. Is it right? And on these two vertical limb, or better way you can call this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. If it is quite difficult to understand the name, it's a limb. This is the rectangular core, entire thing we call it a rectangular core, and these are the two vertical limb. These are the, we call it a two horizontal limb. Limb म्हणजे side consider करा, simple language मध्ये. Okay. So on these two vertical limb, the windings are wound in a number of turns. So let's we consider that this is the primary winding having a N1 number of turns. And when I say that, why we say that this is the primary winding? Because it will receive the energy. आता receive energy करते, याचा अर्थ it is connected to the supply. Get it, my point? So that here when I say that this is the primary winding, it is connected to the supply. It is connected to the supply. Get it, my point? आता या ठिकाणी हा पॉझिटिव्ह टर्मिनल आहे आणि हा निगेटिव्ह टर्मिनल कन्सिडर करा. गेट इट माय पॉइंट? दिस इज कनेक्टेड टू द सप्लाय. आता ते सप्लाय व्होल्टेज कसला आहे, एसी आहे का डीसी आहे हे नंतर बघूया आपण. बट दिस इज द सप्लाय अँड वी नो दॅट दिस इज द सप्लाय व्होल्टेज, दिस इज द प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग. Let's we assume that the supply voltage is a V1, so that it will give the energy to the primary winding. Means the primary winding will receive the energy from the supply voltage. And the number of turns of the primary winding is a N1. Get it my point? This is on the second vertical limb or second vertical side. I say that this is the secondary winding. Have you observed that? Have you noticed that there is no physical contact between the two windings are there? But still energy is transferred from one circuit to another circuit. How? Let's we try to see these things. Now this is the secondary winding. And as I say that, what is the definition of secondary winding? That winding which will deliver the energy. आता तो deliver कशाला करेल? Let's we consider that one load. मग तो load resistor असेल, capacitor असेल, inductor असेल, कुठल्याही टाईपचा load असेल. Here we consider that it's a load. It means that now when the load is connected to the secondary winding will deliver the energy to the load. Primary winding will receive the energy from the supply. Secondary winding will deliver the energy to the load is there. And now we consider that the load voltage is of V2. The number of turns of the secondary winding is a N2. Get it, my point? Now, if we assume that when the primary winding is connected to the supply voltage, definitely the current it will flow through the primary winding. And when the current it will flow through the primary winding, it will set off the magnetic flux. It will set off the magnetic flux, and this flux will link with the primary winding as well as in the secondary winding through the core of the material in this way. The magnetic flux produced by the primary winding current will link with the primary winding as well as secondary winding is there. But what is the basic requirement to induce the EMF in both the winding? What is the basic requirement? The basic requirement is that this flux should be changing. Then and then, according to Faraday's law, EMF is induced in that winding, so that here the AC supply voltage is required. Due to this AC supply voltage, alternating current will flow through the primary winding. Alternating current means what? AC current means what? How you define that AC current? DC current means what? The current which has its constant magnitude with respect to time. The current which has its constant magnitude with respect to time in one direction, that current we call it a DC current. And what is meant by that AC current? The current which will change its magnitude as well as direction with respect to time. This is called as a alternating current. Is it that clear? Now, if the AC supply is connected to the primary winding, due to this AC supply, alternating current is flowing through the primary winding, and when the alternating current will flow through the primary winding, can I say that alternating flux will produce by this alternating current in the core of the material? Do you agree with my statement? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So once this alternating magnetic flux, कारण फ्लक्स कशामुळे तयार होतोय? करंटमुळे तयार होतोय. मग जर करंटच अल्टरनेटिंग असेल म्हणजे इट विल चेंज इट्स मॅग्निट्यूड ॲज वेल एज डायरेक्शन विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. सो डेफिनेटली ड्यू टू दिस अल्टरनेटिंग करंट, the flux produced in the coil or this transformer core, it's alternating, means the flux is also sinusoidal, just like a current. This is a flux here. Get it my point? So once this alternating flux will flow in the core of the transformer, and when this alternating flux link with the both the winding, according to Faraday's law, EMF is induced in both the winding. So EMF induced in the primary winding, let's we assume that it's a E1, and this induced EMF, we call it a self-induced EMF. And the EMF induced in the secondary coil, we say that it's a E2, that we call it's a mutual induced EMF. Is it that clear? Yes or no? And now, once the EMF is induced in the secondary coil, and when the secondary coil is closed with the load, definitely it will circulate the secondary current in the load or to the load. And when the current it will flow through the load, definitely according to Ohm's law, voltage is developed. It means that in this way, that electrical energy, it will be transferred from one circuit to another circuit magnetically. Why I say that magnetically? Because electrical energy is converted into magnetic energy, and then magnetic energy is again converted into that electrical energy. In this way, the transformer, it actually works. But when the transformer will transfer the energy from one circuit to another circuit, or one point to another point, it will not change the frequency according to the definition of a transformer. Means the output frequency of a transformer is the same as the input frequency is there. Is it that clear, the working principle? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that through this discussion, we can write that conclusion, the working principle of a transformer, or the transformer, it works on the mutual induction principle. Because this induced EMF is very important, because due to this induced EMF, that energy will transfer from the primary side to the secondary side is there. Is it that clear? But my question is that here we consider that alternating supply voltage. Can the transformer, it works on the direct supply or DC voltage? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Why no?
No, sir.
Because sir, flux is produced when there is a change in current.
Absolutely correct. Because what is the expected thing? It's an alternating flux is the expected thing to operate that the transformer here. And if that alternating flux will not be there, so definitely transformer will not transfer that energy. कारण तिथे EMF इंड्यूस होणार नाही. जर तुम्ही इथं DC सप्लाय कनेक्ट केला तर DC करंट फ्लो होईल. DC करंट मुळे मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स तयार होईल, परंतु तो कॉन्स्टंट असेल. आणि कॉन्स्टंट फ्लक्स दोन्ही कॉइलला जर लिंक झाला तर फॅराडेज लॉ नुसार EMF इंड्यूस होत नाही, मग तुमची एनर्जी ट्रान्सफर होणार नाही. This is the basic principle behind that. That's why we say that the transformer, it works on mutual induction principle. Is it that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now please try to see that the terms, the different terms I used here. This V1 is what we call it a primary terminal voltage. Terminal voltage म्हणजे प्रायमरी वाइंडिंगचे दोन टर्मिनल ज्या सप्लायला कनेक्ट केलेले आहेत, जिथून प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग एनर्जी घेणार आहे, त्याला आपण काय म्हणणार आहोत? इट्स अ V1. V2 सेकंडरी टर्मिनल व्होल्टेज, ज्या दोन टर्मिनल सेकंडरी कॉइलच्या दोन टर्मिनल मध्ये आपण लोड कनेक्ट करणार आहोत आणि त्याच्या अक्रॉस जे व्होल्टेज तयार होणार त्याला आपण काय म्हणणार? इट्स अ V2. N1 is the primary number of turns, N2 is the secondary number of turns, E1 is the primary induced EMF, E2 is the secondary induced EMF, phi is the magnetic flux, I1 is the primary current flowing to primary winding, and I2 are the secondary current. So these are the few terms we are using while explaining this transformer is there. Get it? Okay. And now, once again, try to read the working principle of a transformer very carefully. Read it very carefully. The first point is that the transformer is a static device. आता तुम्ही बघितलं ट्रान्सफॉर्मर मी एक्सप्लेन करताना वर्किंग प्रिन्सिपल, त्याच्यामध्ये कुठला तरी पार्ट रोटेटिंग होतोय का? नाही. तर चेंज होणारा पार्ट कोणता आहे? तर तो आहे मॅग्नेटिक फ्लक्स. दॅट्स वाय दिस इज अन एक्झाम्पल ऑफ अ स्टॅटिकली इंड्युस्ड ईएमएफ. The transformer is a static device by means of which an electric power is transferred from one circuit to another circuit without changing its frequency. This is the definition. This is the basic construction of the transformer here. Okay. Then a transformer operates on the principle of a mutual induction between the two inductively coupled coil. आता इथं दोन कॉइल सांगितलेले आहेत मी, एक आहे प्रायमरी कॉइल, दुसरी आहे सेकंडरी कॉइल. अँड विच मटेरियल इज यूज? इट्स अ कॉपर मटेरियल इज यूज. दॅट्स वाय दीज टू कॉइल्स आर कॉल्ड ॲज अ इंडक्टिव्ह कॉइल्स आर दॅट. ओके. द वाइंडिंग इन विच दॅट इलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी इज फेड, the winding in which that electric energy is fed is called primary winding, and that other from which that energy is drawn out is called the secondary winding. म्हणजे जी वाइंडिंग ही एनर्जी रिसीव्ह करण्यासाठी यूज केलेली आहे त्या वाइंडिंगला आपण म्हणणार प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग, आणि जी वाइंडिंग ही एनर्जी डिलिव्हर करण्यासाठी यूज केलेली आहे त्याला काय म्हणणार आपण? सेकंडरी वाइंडिंग. The primary winding has N1 number of turns while the secondary winding has N2 number of turns. The basic transformer and its symbol is shown in figure. Now this is the symbol. This is the symbol of the transformer. If you see the symbol very carefully, as I say that the transformer will have the two windings, and now I say that two inductive winding, so that the symbol of the transformer is like this. This is the inductive coil. Get it my point? This is the core of the transformer, and this is the symbol of the transformer here. We say that I say that the primary winding, this is secondary winding, and these two coils are wound on the core of the transformer here. The core, which is made up with a silicon steel, and these two windings are separated but joined magnetically. बघा मी काय म्हणतो ते, these two coils are not having that physical contact in between them, but they are joined magnetically through the core material, silicon steel material here. Can I draw the diagram like this? Symbol. Oh, sorry, it's a core. So this symbol is wrong. Why? Because here you have shown that the resistance, but I say that the transformer consists of coils, two windings. That's why here you have to show the symbol of that inductor. So this is the wrong thing. Most of the times, by mistakenly, the students may draw the symbol like that, but it is wrong. Please have a look on that symbol is there. This one is correct. Is it that clear? Now you can see that this primary winding is connected to the AC supply, secondary winding is connected to the load. Primary winding number of turns is a N1, secondary winding number of turns is that N2 is there. And the most important thing is that the primary winding is connected to the AC supply. This is the essential thing to operate the transformer here. Get it, my point? Now try to read it. Next point. When alternating voltage, AC voltage V1 is applied to the primary winding, and alternating current I1 flows in it, producing alternating flux in the core. According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced in the primary winding, which is given by, this is the equation is there. EMF induced in the primary winding according to Faraday's law, which is nothing but minus N1 d phi by dt, where minus sign, what it indicates? It's a Lane's law. Is it right? It's a Lane's law because this induced EMF is always opposed the cause produced it, and the cause is nothing but that alternating current. Get it, my point? Where N1 is the number of turns in the primary winding, the induced EMF in the primary winding is nearly equal and opposite to the applied voltage V1. Induced EMF in the primary winding is nearly equal and opposite to the applied voltage V1. काय प्रूफ आहे याचं? कसं प्रूफ देणार? सपोज दिस इज माय प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग is connected to AC supply. I say that it's a V1. Due to that alternating current, it flows. And according to Faraday's law, EMF is induced. Let me say that it's a E1. This E1 is always equal to V1. Why? According to Kirchhoff's voltage law, the applied voltage is always, now this is the closed circuit, applied voltage is always equal to the voltage drop across any, in that closed loop, any part of that circuit or the closed loop. It means that here only one, this coil is present in that circuit. It means that whatever the applied voltage is there, so definitely total voltage will appear across this coil. That's why I say that E1 is equal to V1. Is it that clear? Get it, my point? Now, here, read that where N1 is the number of turns in the primary winding and that induced EMF in the primary winding is nearly equal and opposite to that applied voltage V1 is there. Assuming leakage flux to be negligible. आता या ठिकाणी मॅग्नेटिक लिकेज असणार आहे, परंतु ते निग्लिजिबल आपण कन्सिडर करतोय. त्याच्यासाठी तर आपण कोर मटेरियल हे सिलिकॉन स्टील मटेरियल घेतलेलं आहे बिकॉज इट निग्लेक्ट दॅट द मॅग्नेटिक लिकेज. Almost whole flux produced in the primary winding link with the secondary winding. Almost, I say that, approximate, not a total. Almost all flux produced by the primary winding link with the secondary winding. Hence, EMF E2 is induced in the secondary winding here. And this E2 is nothing but minus N2 d phi by dt. This is the formula for that induced EMF is there. Where N2 is the number of turns in the secondary winding, if secondary winding is closed through the load, the current I2 flows in the secondary winding. And once the EMF is induced in the secondary winding according to the Faraday's law, and when this secondary winding is connected to the load and it is closed, it means that once the closed path is available, then definitely that electric current, it circulates in the secondary winding. Get it, my point? Thus, energy is a transformed from primary winding to secondary winding through magnetic field is there. Is it that clear? The working principle of transformer? Yes or no? Get it or not?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in that? Okay, then try to see that EMF equation of a transformer. Now this is the last point of this topic is that EMF equation of a transformer here. Now have a concentrate. Jar tumhala working principle samajla asel, so it's very easy to derive the derivation for EMF equation of a transformer is there. So please have a look on it. This is the transformer. It's the basic view of the transformer. Primary winding, core, secondary winding are the three essential parts. Movable part is the magnetic flux, and the primary winding is connected to AC supply. Secondary winding is connected to the load. This is the basic view of the transformer here. Alternating current in the primary winding set of alternating magnetic flux in the core. बघा, पहिला आपण कुठून स्टार्ट करतोय बघा. Alternating current in the primary winding set up alternating magnetic flux in the core, and it can be represented by phi is equal to phi m sin omega t. ही इक्वेशन माहिती आहे तुम्हाला? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this, as I say that, due to this alternating current, alternating magnetic flux set up in the magnetic field or in the core, this is the flux phi, and this is nothing but the maximum value of this flux. We call it a phi m. As I say that, as the current will change its magnitude as well as direction with respect to same thing, the flux also change its magnitude as well as its direction. From the zero value, initially that value it will be increased up to its maximum value, then it will decreases, then it will increases in the reverse direction. This is also, I say that it's a negative maximum value is there, minus 5m. The minus sign indicates that the direction is opposite only. Simple thing is that. So this is the equation for the alternating magnetic flux. And this sine omega t is nothing but the angle taken by this flux. Okay. मला वाटतं तुम्ही अल्टरनेटिंग व्होल्टेजचं इक्वेशन बघितलं असेल, V इज इक्वल टू VM साइन थीटा और साइन ओमेगा टी. थीटा पण म्हणू शकता, ओमेगा टी पण म्हणू शकता. ओमेगा टी इज इन रेडियन, थीटा इज इन डिग्री, और I इज इक्वल टू IM साइन थीटा और ओमेगा टी इज देयर. But what is this phi m? What is this phi m? What is this VM? What is this IM? Huh? This is nothing but the maximum value. Maximum value phi m. इथं मी दाखवलंय डायग्राम मध्ये त्याच्यासाठी. And what is this phi? What is this V? What is this I? Is called as instantaneous value. Word ऐकलाय? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Instantaneous value is nothing but the value at any particular instant. आता ते आपण पुढच्या टॉपिक मध्ये एसी सर्किट मध्ये ज्यावेळेस जाणार आहोत आपण, त्यावेळेस आपल्याला इन डिटेल्स बघायचंय. पण आता हे लक्षात घ्या, this phi, only phi is nothing but the instantaneous value. This phi m is nothing but the maximum value, and this sine theta or sine omega t is nothing but the angle taken with the reference axis. तर ते काय आहे ते नंतर बघूया आपण, कारण ते आता इथे एक्सप्लेन करायचं म्हणजे मला पुन्हा पुढचा टॉपिक इथं एक्सप्लेन केल्यासारखं होतं. ठीक आहे. बट नाउ यू जस्ट ट्राय टू रिमेंबर द वन थिंग, when the primary winding is connected to that AC supply, alternating current will flow through the primary winding, and due to that alternating current, alternating flux will flow, किंवा त्याला आपण साइनोसोडल पण म्हणू शकतो. साइनोसोडल फ्लक्स विल फ्लो इन द कोर ऑफ द ट्रान्सफॉर्मर, and this sinusoidal flux can be, आता याला साइनोसोडल का म्हणलेलं आहे, कारण त्याची वेवफॉर्म ही साइन वेवफॉर्म आहे, म्हणून त्याला साइनोसोडल म्हणलेलं आहे. So this alternating flux can be represented with that equation phi is equal to phi m sin omega t. This is the equation of this flux phi. Get it, my point? And now, according to, or better way, try to remember that this n1 is the primary number of turn, n2 is the secondary number of turns, phi m is the maximum value of a flux, f is the frequency. Now, till now we are not discuss about the frequency because we are discussing about DC supply. But right now, which types of supply we have connected to the primary winding? It's a AC supply. That's why the frequency concept it comes here. So F is the frequency which is measured in hertz. Hertz is the unit. Is it right? And this is the waveform of alternating flux is there. Okay. When the alternating magnetic flux link with the both the winding, now this alternating magnetic flux will link with the both the winding. According to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, EMF is induced in both the winding is there. Get it, my point? So the induced EMF in the winding can be given by, according to Faraday's law, our equation is what? E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. What is mean by this d phi by dt? It's a rate of change of flux. and when we multiplied with the n, we call it a rate of change of flux linkage. Minus sign is the Lenz's law, and E is the small e is nothing but the induced EMF. So this is the equation of a Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. But right now we have that equation of a phi, and that equation is phi is equal to phi m sine omega t. Is it right? Now let me try to put that value of phi in that equation by phi m sine omega t is there. Now when I try to take the derivation with respect to t, this phi m is a constant term. What is the derivation of sine omega t with respect to t?
Omega into cos omega t.
जरा मोठ्याने बोला की. Hello?
Omega into cos omega t.
Okay. So now here when you take the derivation of sine omega t with respect to t, then it comes minus n phi m as it is, and the derivation of sine omega t is a cos omega t into omega. Get it my point? And now I can write like that also. This minus sign I just consider for the minus cos omega t, and this n phi m omega I just take it outside. Little bit rearrangement is there. And this minus cos omega t, if I want to write it down in terms of sine, then I can write sine omega t minus pi by 2 is there. So that my next equation becomes, आता हे equation बघून घ्या, E is equal to n phi m omega in bracket minus cos omega t. Now this minus cos omega t I will try to replace in terms of sine, and that equation is nothing but E is equal to n phi m omega as it is minus cos omega t. I can replace with E is equal to n phi m omega sine omega t minus pi by 2. This is a very important equation. Now this E is nothing but, I say that, instantaneous value. Now when the induced EMF will be maximum, when this E having its maximum value, when this angle is equal to 1. कारण त्याची maximum value 1 असेल. Sin theta ची maximum value काय आहे? 1 आहे. Means when this angle it becomes 1, that time this E having its maximum value. But here in that equation, this n stands for number of turns. But if we want to calculate the EMF per turn, induced EMF per turn, we will consider n is equal to 1 here, and then I can write that equation is like this. E is equal to, आता आपण n is equal to 1 ठेवलंय का, तर आपल्याला काय काढायचंय, induced EMF per turn काढायचा आहे. So I can write phi m omega sin omega t minus pi by 2. आता हा E कधी maximum असेल, when sin omega t minus pi by 2 is equal to 1. Get it my point? When this sin omega t minus pi by 2 is equal to 1, that time this E having its maximum value, and the maximum value आपण कशाने represent करणार आहोत, EM ने represent करणार आहोत. E to the base m stands for maximum value of induced EMF. So when I put this is equal to 1, then this is nothing but EM, and this EM is nothing but what? Which is nothing but phi m omega. But omega is nothing but what? The omega is nothing but 2 phi f. Get it my point? So the omega is nothing but it's a 2 phi f into phi m, and now if you try to multiply 2 into phi, so definitely you will get that the one calculation here. But another one point is that for sinusoidal quantity, RMS value, do you know that RMS value? What is mean by RMS value?
Yes, root mean square value.
हा, आता जरी तुमच्या लक्षात आलं नसेल RMS व्हॅल्यू म्हणजे काय, आपण ते पुढच्या टॉपिक मध्ये बघणार आहोत, कारण आपण अजून AC सर्किटच्या बेसिक फंडामेंटल थिंग्स बघितलेलं नाही. Right now for this derivation you please remember the RMS value means the root mean square value which is nothing but 0.707 into maximum value. मग आता ही म्हणजे काय झाली तुमची the maximum value of a induced EMF. So when I want to calculate its RMS value which is equal to 0.707 into 2 pi f phi m, and then let me try to calculate its RMS value. RMS value is equal to 0.707 into 2 pi f phi m, and when you try to do the calculation 0.707 into 2 pi, you will get it's a 4.44, and the phi m is as it is. So that RMS value of induced EMF per turn, कारण आपण तिथे n is equal to 1 घेतलाय, RMS value of induced EMF per turn is equal to 4.44 f phi m for both the winding. मग आता आपल्याला RMS व्हॅल्यू मिळाली आहे एका टर्न साठी. मग आता जर टोटल इंड्युस्ड EMF इन द प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग, मग प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग एका वाइंडिंग मध्ये जर एवढा EMF तयार होत असेल तर टोटल प्रायमरी वाइंडिंग मध्ये किती EMF तयार होईल? मग आपल्याला माहित आहे total number of turns of a primary winding is what? It's a N1. So the RMS value, this E1 is nothing but what? RMS value of a total induced EMF in the primary winding, which is equal to 4.44 f phi m. This is the induced EMF per turn into N1. This is the total RMS value of an induced EMF in the primary winding. Similarly, the total induced EMF in the primary, not primary, it's a secondary now. Secondary winding is E2, that E2 is equal to 4.44 f phi m N2 volt. Get it my point? आता हेच EMF इक्वेशन जर मला मॅक्सिमम फ्लक्स डेन्सिटीच्या फॉर्म मध्ये लिहायचं असेल तर आपल्याकडे इक्वेशन आहे B is equal to phi upon A. I can write Bm, maximum flux density is equal to maximum flux upon A. I can write phi m is equal to Bm into A. Is it right? So when I want to write the equation of induced EMF in terms of maximum flux density, I just replace this phi m with the Bm into A, where A is the area of cross section of core material, because within which the magnetic flux it flows. Is it that clear? बघा आपण कुठून कुठपर्यंत आलेलो आहे, पहिल्यापासून बघा वाटलं तर. ही डायग्राम आपण पहिल्यांदा कन्सिडर केली होती. Alternating current will create the alternating flux, so that alternating flux is phi is equal to phi m sin omega t. These are the terms. This is the waveform of that flux. According to Faraday's law, induced EMF, we say that it's a minus n d phi by dt. 1 minute. So this is the equation of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Now we will put that value of phi. मग ते आपण सॉल्व करत गेलो. मायनस कॉस ओमेगा टीचं पुन्हा साइन मध्ये फॉर्म मध्ये कन्वर्जन केलं. त्याच्यानंतर EMF पर टर्न साठी n इज इक्वल टू 1 कन्सिडर केला. त्यानंतर RMS व्हॅल्यूचा कन्सेप्ट यूज केला. त्याच्यावरून आपण RMS व्हॅल्यू पर टर्न कॅल्क्युलेट केलं. Get it my point? And that it comes 4.44 FIM. आणि त्याच्यावरून आपण total induced EMF काढला. Simple thing is that. Is it that clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we stop here, and today I will provide you that assignment question on this topic. And here I say that this unit number 2 is over here as per the syllabus decided by that university is there. Okay.